friends, Joe Motion Videos 82 here. Time for another quick review. I thought I would put out a review today on this really cool radio that I've been talking about for a little bit. This is a AM only radio. It was produced in 1982. I think it may have been around through 83. It was made by Nast Industries Incorporated from New York. It came packaged with a picture of Grunt on the front. He is your standard G.I. Joe picture at the time, you know, because he was Grunt. He was the ground pounder, the go-to guy. And he made a lot of appearances on G.I. Joe, not paraphernalia, but just extra G.I. Joe items outside of action figures. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. So you see here on the front, has that really cool camo pattern, reads G.I. Joe. On the dial here, it does turn, and that does glow in the dark. It has kind of a compass pattern on it, and it is good for 10 kilohertz. The switch here is on the side. Still works, which come on, it works. I paid $11 for this several months ago, and it was worth every penny. I had this as a kid. My first year out here in Arizona was 82, and my family didn't have a lot of money because my folks spent most of it, what we had, moving down here, staying in hotels and such. I think it took us like 10 days to move because we were sightseeing and everything. But driving from Ohio to Arizona in the station wagon, 5 kids, a dog, and all of our worldly possessions in the station wagon on top of it and in a trailer, it sucked. To this day, I don't like taking long road trips unless I have a lot of room. It scarred me for life. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about this radio. So when we got here, like I said, we didn't have a lot of money, so that Christmas was a little sparse. But those are the ones that are the most memorable. Why? Because I appreciate what we got. I still remember to this day, I got a Playmobil set. It was a wagon train. The Cobra Trooper, this radio, and a little rev-up tank. You remember pushing those and getting a little dynamo in it going and let it go. That was what I got that year. Well, and this radio. I thought this was the coolest thing. Why? Because it was camo patterned on the front. Unfortunately, the back is not. Has this cool little strap, and this was hanging on my handlebars, radio blasting. And I used it as a walkie-talkie as well, so I could call the Joe base. And any kid on the playground back in the 80s that had a radio, you were the dog's bollocks. I know we had some of the kids out there in the more affluent families that had a ghetto blaster sitting on their shoulder, and they're, you know, rocking out to Quiet Riot, and that thing was just blaring, and eventually neighbors complained, so the principal told us not to play the radios full blast on the playground. But here I was, little old Byron, out there in the playground, you know, jamming out to country music or a 50s station on my AM radio. So I had my little group of friends, and we just sat there and listened to it. We didn't care what it was a radio. And you know, it had a lot of really fond memories for me. Still does. Has a little thumb slot here on the back. Just pry that open gently and open it up and look at that old technology. It ran off of a 9-volt battery. Does that? I mean, this was state of the art with its little diodes and transducers. There's some corrosion on there, but come on, I'm older than 1982. I would have corrosion too. You know, you open up your cell phone and it has that same, you know, it doesn't have that same technology to it. So this is a blast from the past. I didn't find any on eBay, or so I can't give you a price breakdown for it in the Byron's Gripes segment, but here it is, my favorite segment, Byron's Gripes. And you know what? There's nothing to gripe about on price. If anything, it's only AM, but given the technology of the day, if you wanted FM, the radio would have been a little bit bigger. This was perfect. It was pocket size. I would carry it in my back pocket, in my backpack when I went into the classroom. But this is awesome. I really wouldn't pay more than $25 for it. Condition is everything with this. If you see one, ask questions, ask if it still works. 9 times out of 10, it would, unless the inside is just trashed. Ask if they don't take a picture of the inside. Ask them, because this does tend to corrode, and if the little diodes and whatnot, I'm not an electronics guy, but if those are corroded, I'm sure it will interfere with the functionality of this radio. So it is a nice little conversation piece. It, still, I mean, it's just nostalgia. Isn't that what this whole thing is about? Our toy collections, isn't it just about nostalgia? Passing that nostalgia on to our children. So, yeah, no more than $25. I wouldn't pay for that thing. And, it's G.I. Joe memorabilia. And, as adult collectors, we have to pass that on. I think it's important because it is a part of history. It's a part of toy history. And it's important to pass that on to future generations. Because toys, honestly, I think they're going to become more scarce. And it's just eventually going to be limited to younger children, babies and toddlers, maybe up to 10 years old. The toys are becoming more electronic, more radio controlled stuff. And, it's sad the toy departments are dwindling. Toy stores are almost non-existent. It's all vintage stuff now. And the last time I visited a vintage store, I was talking with a young family, and they had their daughter in there, and she loves My Little Pony, and the mom had bought her a bunch of vintage My Little Pony and some strawberry shortcake, little strawberry shortcake dolls. So they get the message. You pass this on to your kids. So I'm not going to tie you up any longer with this. Thank you guys very much for tuning in. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at JoeMotionVideos82. Also, support this channel on Ko-fi. I'll have the link down in the description. All Ko-fi supporters will become a channel supporter, and your name will also be listed with the supporters down in the description. And I will hold giveaways for my supporters only, exclusive, I should say, for supporters only, and still hold giveaways for my subscribers. So any dollar amount gets you in. That's just my way of thanking you for supporting this channel. All those funds will go into buying prizes and toys to review. So I can't thank you guys enough. You've been very wonderful, been great friends, supporting me, especially with my recent health scares. Just excuse hiccups, pardon me. Knowing that you guys were there pulling for me meant the world to me. It really did. It made what I was going through a little more bearable. So thank you guys for that. And that's it. You guys have a great day. Don't forget to be kind to everyone. Be kind to animals, especially. They're as innocent as could be. They know nothing but unconditional love. So this is Joe Motion Videos 82 signing off. My new Dreadnought t-shirt signing off too. You guys have a great day. Take care of each other. Bye-bye. Touchscreen. It was supposed to be so simple.